Following program was provided by a valued member of our local community. Rogers TV is proud to support local producers and share local voices, ideas, and opinions. For more information, please visit our website.
Welcome to the Dog Show with me, Claudia.
Hey everybody, it's Claudia. I'm here with dog trainer extraordinaire Maggi Burtt. Hey Maggie.
Hi Claudia, how are you?
I'm good, and Maggie's from Tailspin Pet Works in Toronto. And we're shooting today at All About Dogs, a wonderful training facility also in Toronto. And we've got my friend Goldie here. Goldie's a 4.5-year-old Labrador Retriever. Hey Goldie. And Maggie, Goldie's a Labrador Retriever, and Labrador Retrievers are, as you know, one of the most popular breeds of dog. And that led me to wonder, when people come to you and ask, what kind of dog should I get? How do you help people figure out what type of dog is going to be the best fit for them?
Well, I mean, it's a tough one because there's a lot of variables. We look at how much exercise you like to give your dog, if you're an active lifestyle or a homebody, whether you want a big or small dog, grooming qualities, personality, what the dogs were bred for is important. Like if you have a really nice garden and you don't want holes in it, a terrier might not be your first bet. So it really is a matter of picking a breed or breed type that you like, and then going out and finding the dog that fits that criteria, but also has the personality that fits for you. There are lots of options. There are rehoming and adoption and rescue and buying dogs from a reputable breeder. Please do your research for that.
Absolutely. So let's just talk about Goldie. So Goldie is a Labrador Retriever, and she is a sporting type of dog and a retrieving type of dog. What kind of pets do these guys make?
It
Depends.
The truth?
I can't handle the truth.
She can't handle the truth. We joke about this a lot. I'm a shepherd person. She's a lab person. The two don't always mix.
We're great friends, but the dogs don't always mix.
Labs are often really, really tolerant of handling, and they're kind of tough physically, so they do well often in houses with kids. A lot of the herding breeds tend to be a little bit more sensitive. They can still do really well with kids, but people have to understand that spatially they have different requirements, and mentally they have different requirements. So it really depends. I personally used to be a dog walker, so the reason I prefer a shepherd over a lab, no offense Goldie, is that in the park, if a lab is barreling towards you, you have to get out of its way. And if a shepherd or more agile dog is heading towards you, chances are at the last second it's going to veer. That's what I like, not being knocked into all the time.
And I think the other thing you have to think about is life expectancy and commitment to that. Because this breed will live between 10 and 12 years usually. They can live to 14. You never know. Nothing is guaranteed. Smaller dogs can live longer, can't they, Maggie?
Absolutely, and the giant breeds often live significantly shorter lives.
Yeah, I used to have Great Danes, and they would pass away sometimes between 6 and 8 years of age, although nowadays they're living longer. But I know some people that have small dogs like Bichon Frises and miniature poodles that live 16 to 20 years, so that's a long commitment. So you have to think about where you're going to be in 10 years, where you're going to be in 15 years.
Absolutely. And if you are older and get a dog, you really should be thinking about what is going to happen to your pets if you pass or if you have to go into a nursing home, things like that. There's a lot of responsibility in getting an animal. It is almost like having children. I say almost, but for some of us it is like having children.
And if you have children, when you get a dog, that's another thing to consider in considering the type of dog. And I also think certainly what I've noticed with my breed is that in my 30s, it was not a big deal to have a big, strong dog and go down the street. But in the past year, I've been fallen twice because they're a strong type of dog. That doesn't dissuade me from having Labrador Retrievers, but it's something to think about. If you've just had a hip replacement or a knee replacement, you may not want to be walking.
That would be me. Both knees.
So there's lots of different types of dogs, lots of different breeds, different rescues, lots of options. So read up, understand your breed. Some websites like the Canadian Kennel Club, or sorry, the American Kennel Club website, I think has a help you choose breed of dog.
Some of them do, yeah.
Yeah. So today with Goldie, what we thought we might, and listen to this nice, Goldie's offering a sit to Maggie because Maggie had food previously. So Goldie, I thought one of the things that challenges me with a Labrador Retriever is walking. And it's something we all want to do with our dogs, go on these nice walks with the dog on leash, busy streets sometimes, or in the country. And it would be nice if they walk with us. So Goldie is going to walk with me, and Maggie is going to help us with some hopefully loose leash walking.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the codicil that loose leash walking is not easy for dogs. They can't learn it immediately. You need to work on it a lot under different distractions. So you can't expect your 3 or 4 month old puppy to be walking on a loose leash, or even your 10-month-old puppy regularly. So just so you know, it takes a while. The way that I like to teach walking on a leash is I use the 1, 2, 3 game from Leslie McDevitt's Control on Leash.
Okay.
Okay,
How does
so
that
what
work?
that looks at, you start with, you're gonna say 3, give a cookie, 2, 3, give a cookie, 1, 2, 3, give a cookie. And then you're gonna start walking, and while you're walking, you're going to count. 1, cookie, 2, cookie. I know she's like, are you throwing a cookie on the floor? 3, cookie. And then you're gonna start over. The whole time you are reinforcing in the space that you want your dog to be. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, give it a try.
So I go
3,
3, and then I go
2, 3,
2, 3, and then I go 1, 2,
1,
3.
2, 3.
Oh, it's harder on me than it is on Goldie. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Just do 2 things
Cookie
at once.
comes on 3. Now, generally you would do more repetitions of each number. Some dogs you can just do 1, 2, 3 period and give the cookie at 3. It really depends on the dog.
All
So
right.
you're gonna get up and you're gonna start walking back and forth.
All right.
You're gonna say 1, 2, and on 3, she's gonna get the cookie. Let's
All
see
right.
how it goes.
Goldie. 1, 2, 3.
Good. Try to keep walking
1.
when you do the 3.
I can't do 2 things at once.
I know.
1, 2, 3.
Good job.
1, 2, 3. Oh.
Nice.
1, 2, 3.
Good.
1, 2, 3.
So this is a really nice way to keep your dogs focused on you.
1.
And you can build duration by putting more time between your 1, 2, and 3.
1,
Or theoretically, you keep counting, but I
2.
find it easier to do 3, predicts the cookie.
3.
It's really quite simple, and
1.
it's very handy for a lot of things.
2, 3.
3. Nice.
And we'll
Very
break
nice.
up. Well, nice job, Goldie. Good girl. And then we give some praise in between. And there's a word that people often use for walking with the dog. So that was loose leash walking. And then there's something called heeling. What does that mean?
Heeling is teaching your dog to walk at heel, which means their shoulders are equal, give or take a few inches, with the side of your knee and your heel. If you're gonna do it for obedience training and sports, usually it's on the left side. That's just the tradition. It doesn't really matter with a pet dog which side you want them to do it on. But honestly, a heel is only needed for very short periods of time. If you're going through traffic or that sort of thing. So I honestly rarely teach it. I would be more likely to go back to the 1, 2, 3 and just do it faster to keep the dog in place to get through traffic.
I gotcha. So I've got Goldie in the sitting position,
Yes,
and maybe we can see
what a real heel looks
what a
like.
real heel looks like.
All right, go for
And
it.
so what I'm going to do, I'm cheating. I've got a little piece of cheese in my hand, and I'm going to put my hand in the heel position. Which, if you're doing a competition, obedience competition, this is what you want. You want the dog looking up towards you, which Goldie's giving me good eye contact, so I'll give her a yes for that. And then you step forward with your left foot. Oh,
Which
but
tells
Goldie
them you
step
can
forward.
move.
Yes, Goldie. Heel. Girl, you can talk to her. In a competition, I can't talk to her, but I can talk to her. In rally obedience, you can talk. In regular obedience, you can't. So I'm going to say, Goldie, what a good girl. Yes, it's a good girl. Good work, Goldie. Good work. And yes.
Excellent.
So that is healing.
So yeah, so if you do dog sports or you do like rally obedience, teaching a heel can be important for that. But most pet dogs don't need a heel. They just need to know what not to pull their owner down the street.
Yeah, and again, what you're seeing, oh, now Goldie's offering another behavior, which is sitting up. And I'm not going to reward that. If I ask her, sit up, I'll reward it.
Good.
And she's going to see if she can put my leather pants. That's all.
A little bit crazy now.
And so when
This is working is fun, and then I get too
Good girl.
excited. Good.
See, so that's the other thing is you want to give your dog the opportunity to break it off and relax. I'll let her go between my legs, Goldie, and then I'll keep talking to her. Because what Goldie's upset about, I think, is that I was giving her all this attention, and then I stopped giving her attention to talk with Maggie, and then she gets a little crazy.
She gets a little crazy.
And so now by talking to her, and that's something to work on. So if you've seen Goldie in other episodes, you've seen that Goldie sometimes does get a little excited. And every dog is different. And so with Goldie, I'll give her that attention. But I'm also going to work on getting Goldie to not be so demanding of attention so that I can go have coffee with friends, we can have company, and I don't have to always be doing this kind of thing.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, all of our dogs are. But the thing to know is that even if you work, how long would you work on this with a dog like Goldie?
With a dog like her?
Well, any dog. How long would you work on any kind of behavior you were teaching?
Oh, it really depends on the dog. Most dogs will kind of tell you if they don't want to continue. If I start to see we're doing and we're getting lots of success, and then it starts to fade, it usually means you're pushing the dog too far. It's really nice to ask your dog if they can. So maybe speak to them, see if they can still give you focus. If that's the case, you might be able to still continue.
And if they say something to you, maybe you need a break. But, you know,
Yes.
Maggie's talking about body language, eye contact.
Like there's all sorts of things that you can, once you get to learn your dog, you'll start to see when they start to get to the point where they can't handle anymore.
Yeah, and I think Goldie's kind of getting to that point.
But I think so too. We've been here, this is episode 3 that we've done, so yeah.
So Maggi Burtt, Tailspin, if that works, thank you so much for being on the show
You're
today.
very welcome.
We learned a lot.
Good girl.
Good girl, Goldie. Hi, everyone. So I'm here with Dr. Alan Poon, who's the managing partner at Mariposa Veterinary Hospital in Aurelia. Hi, Dr. Poon. How are you?
I'm good, Claudia. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for being here. It's exciting to have a local vet. How long have you been practicing veterinary medicine?
So I've been a vet for about 12 years now. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And what made you want to practice in Aurelia?
I think there was an opportunity for me to open up a clinic in Aurelia. We've been happily working in the area since sort of late 2021, but I've been sort of in the Simcoe area since 2012. So it's sort of nice to have and know the community in the area where we work as well.
No, well, we're very lucky to have you. So tonight I thought we could talk about something that is very big in the early lives of a lot of dog owners, which is spaying and neutering their pets, their female and male dogs. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about why that is something that is done for our pets?
Yeah, so it's an excellent set of questions, and it's, I guess I would say, hard to give a very generalized statement. A lot of this information that we're getting and that sort of the advice that you get from your veterinarian is going to actually be very specifically tailored to your individual dog. We know that in a lot of cases, there are certain advantages and disadvantages to spaying and neutering your dog. So as much as I want people to take away from our conversation here, it's absolutely worthwhile to discuss things with your own veterinarian so that you can make an informed decision of your own pet. But I would say in general, most people with a non-breeding contract or an agreement with their breeder will tend towards having their pet spayed and neutered. The obvious first reason for that is population control. We want to make sure that there's no accidental mating or breeding when your dogs and pets are at the dog park or going out for walks. And even within the same household, a lot of people will mistakenly think that if they adopt siblings or if they have siblings, then they're not going to do anything. And unfortunately, that's not the case. So making sure that we're not having any unwanted litters is the primary, usually the primary reason. There's also a lot of behavior changes that can occur, especially, for example, if you have a very hyper-excitable dog, sometimes having them spayed or neutered can help to tamper some of that excitement as well.
That's very true, and I can tell our friends watching that I had 2 Labrador retrievers that were on non-breeding contracts, and so I have an intact male and an intact female, and I will tell you, every 5 to 6 months, it became chaos and bedlam. The level of stress on all of us was quite intense when you have 2 large dogs, the female initially not wanting to have anything to do with the male being intent from even before she's actually in heat, and then really that receptive period where you have to really watch everybody so closely. So we made the decision ultimately that we would spay the female, because as much as we wanted to show her and did show her, it just became beyond in my breed Labrador retrievers. It just was too much for us.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, when people do decide to spay or neuter their pets, what is involved in doing that from a veterinary perspective?
Yeah, so I guess one of the first steps is choosing the appropriate timing for it. It's always a conversation that you want to have when your dog is a puppy. It's something that is and should be discussed at one of your 2 or 3 puppy appointments when you first get one. So it's something that you're prepared for if having them spayed or neutered is part of the plan. The overall goal is to make sure that your pet is safe and ready for the procedure as well. So making sure that you have a veterinary team that you are comfortable with in regards to surgery and anesthesia is absolutely a good start, and something that you'll want to sort of discuss with your veterinary team prior to. And I guess in terms of things such as age and breed are going to be important factors to consider as for timing of the spay or neuter. Right now, in terms of sort of a generalized advice, we want to make sure that your dog is of what we call skeletal maturity, making sure that their bones and joints have fully had a chance to grow and their body have a chance to mature before we alter any kind of hormones for them. There's lots of studies that have documented where dogs that have had an opportunity to grow to their final size, so generally around a year to even a year and a half of age, have a lower incidence of sort of bone and joint abnormalities when they do grow up. So making sure that timing is a crucial factor in deciding when to spay and neuter.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense, because it used to be it was 6 months, and the dog didn't even have, like, my breed is, a head breed, and you want that big thick head, and you didn't get that. You could tell who'd spayed or neutered their dog at 6 or 7 months, because you would see not a fully mature structure. So it's exciting how things change as more knowledge develops. And how long, I'm sure it's different for males and females, but maybe tell us sort of how long is a recovery from that type of surgery for the male and for the female, and how long will it take, and what does the owner need to do?
Yeah, of course. So the surgeries themselves are obviously dependent on the anatomy. So for a male neuter, which we call a castration, the removal of the testicles, they are relatively external to the body. So the actual procedure itself probably takes about 20 to 25 minutes or so. It is a quicker procedure, and the recovery time tends to be a little bit easier, as the incision is generally quite small and, again, fairly external healing. For a female, something called an ovariohysterectomy, that's the removal of both the ovaries and the uterus as well. And those are inside the abdomen. And that requires a abdominal surgery in order for the spay to occur. So with that, the recovery time generally is a little bit longer, usually around 6 to 7 days. And because it involves going into the abdomen, that's going to be where making sure that the wound around the belly stays nice and clean, and especially regardless of the surgery, making sure that your pet is not running around and playing and doing anything to stretch or to tear the stitches that have been placed on the skin.
What about if someone has, a lot of people adopt dogs or have rescue dogs that may have come from other countries and wouldn't have been spayed or neutered? What's advisable in that situation, or is it case by case?
It generally is going to be case by case. I would say a lot of what we see with rescue organizations these days, as well as locally with the Ontario SPCA, is that those pets have been neutered or spayed prior to adoption. So usually a lot of that, including the aftercare, has already been taken care of by the organization before they have an opportunity to be adopted out.
Oh, that's great. I had no idea. Well, this has been extremely informative. I've learned a lot, and I'm sure everyone else has too. So thank you very much, Dr. Poon. We'll talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Take care.
I'm here with Corie Bonnaffon, Training Director at North York Obedience Club. Welcome, Corie.
Thank you, Claudia. I'm glad you're here today.
So what is North York Obedience Club?
North York Obedience Club is a club for dog lovers. It's existed for over 50 years. It's one of the oldest dog clubs in the city with the CKC. And we offer everything from puppy classes to the little tiny puppies when they just start out, right through formal classes teaching people for competitions. We have a wonderful team that goes out to nursing homes offering entertainment with our dogs to seniors and people who enjoy just watching the dogs and petting them. And we have dog competitions that we offer.
That's great, Corie. Now tonight, I understand we're going to watch one of my favorite dog obedience activities, rally obedience. What's rally obedience?
Rally obedience is one of the best things you can do with your best friend, who is your teammate.
Okay.
It is a team sport.
All right.
The two of you are working together. You work your way through a numbered course, we'll see that tonight, in order preferably. And at each number, you do whatever it says that is there.
Okay.
It starts off for the beginners as very simple things, things like sit and down, and it's all done on leash. And as you progress, it gets more and more complicated, and the dogs are off leash.
Oh, wow.
We'll see dogs off leash tonight.
Excellent.
So, and eventually, some people take that into competition, Some people aren't competitive at all, and they just love to do the training and meet with their friends, and that's great too.
Well, I'm really excited to see some rally obedience, and I know our audience is too. So we'll talk to you a little later. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Hi, who do we have here?
This is Andy, and I'm Carolyn.
Hi, Carolyn. What kind of dog is Andy, as if I didn't know?
Andy's a golden retriever who's 4 years old.
Okay, and what do you like about rally obedience?
Well, I like it because it keeps him busy. He's got a lot of energy right now, and so it keeps him busy, but it also keeps him engaged in working on his obedience.
Okay, and do you do regular obedience as well?
No, we don't do it. This is our most obedience we do.
That's great. And has he been in any competitions?
Yeah, he's actually got his title in novice for rally. So we were pretty happy about that, and we're working towards an intermediate and advanced maybe. So
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing him with us.
Oh,
What a
you're
good
welcome.
boy. What a good boy.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. So hi, who are you and who's with you?
My name is Shirley, and this is my Border Terrier, Itzy. She's 7 years old.
And what do you like about rally obedience?
Oh, I don't know. It makes you think.
Okay.
You gotta stay on your toes, and makes the dog think, and I don't know. It's fun.
Is this the first thing you've done with your dog, or have you done other activities as well?
We've done obedience, and we've done tricks with the club, and a few other things, but all with the club. But mostly rally.
Is that your favorite?
Yeah, I think so far.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, can you tell me who you are and who we've got with you?
I'm Heather, and this is my dog Penny.
How old is Penny?
Penny is 3.
And what kind of dog is Penny?
She is a bite.
I see some poodle, I see some all sorts of things in that pretty face.
A little bit of everything. We've got the genetics out, so we'll see by the next couple months what she is actually made of.
Oh wow, well all things nice for sure. So how long have you and Penny been doing rally obedience?
We started when she was probably 6 or 8 months old.
Okay, and how old is she now? She's 3. Okay. And what do you like about rally obedience?
We got into it. Someone said it was a really good way to keep up your training while being really fun. You can talk to your dog the whole time. So I just like that we get to work together as a team and have a lot of fun, and it doesn't seem as serious as competition obedience.
That's fair, and it keeps the dog working and thinking all the time.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Plus there's treats.
And there's treats, but not in a competition.
No, just in practice.
Well, thank you very much.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying it's an important dog.